I think one of my previous lives must have been 1900. Something draws me to the turn of the century, and I don't question it. I don't know how I found Colette or how she found me. Besides loving her writing, she loved animals, dogs, and flowers and the countryside. As a woman, she led a very wild love life, which is kind of what I was drawn to when I was a young woman. You know, you look for things to support your appetite. I found an identity with Colette. The story of how Chéri came about this time, I was working at American Ballet Theatre on an old trio, and I was working on it a year ago. I was leaving ABT. I walked by the studio and I saw this creature flying through the air with this raven blue-black hair. And he finished the phrase, and I stood at the door transfixed, and I went to Herman Cornejo, who I didn't know at all, had never seen him before, and I said, "I love you." I was just caught like a deer in headlights by his brilliance. For years I had pursued Alessandra because she's an amazing actress. We had talked about working together at least 25 years ago. I said, "I think Chéri would be wonderful for you and Herman Cornejo." Both their talents are so extraordinary that it's having the chance to play on a Stradivarius violin. I mean, you don't get any better. We've decided Chéri's mother would be an important protagonist and could be the only one who could speak, because in a funny way, although Colette doesn't develop her a lot, she gives her son to her best friend when he's young to be introduced to the language of love. She takes her son away from Leia because it's time for him to get married. And she's a wonderful observer. You understand by getting to know his mother those empty places in him. This is not Chéri and the Last of Chéri, literally. It's a point of view about them, an adaptation. For me, the book has more meaning now because what I fell for was the fact that a woman who was beautiful and youngish accepts aging with grace and humor. And perhaps this was the time for me to do it, since I'm no longer young with a huge horizon ahead. It was the woman's loving the young man and letting him go with grief and sadness, but acceptance of her life at this point in the trip.